Some people may say they won't believe it until they see it, but I say you have to see it first. Those were the words spoken from a wise man. Today, I'm going to tell you why those words are so significant and what they are telling you to do. Hello, hello, hello. You are listening to the Manifest on Purpose show. I am the host of that show. I am Kimberly. I am here to elevate your consciousness. I am here to help you activate manifestation in your life by being a conscious creator. Thank you so much for showing up and deciding to watch this video, sharing your time and energy with me today. Thank you so much for everyone you've invited, those that may need this video. And also, thank you for subscribing right here and on the website at Kimberly, KIMBALEY. And you know, I do everything that I do because the God in me loves the God in you. Today, we're going to talk about one of my favorite manifestation techniques. We're going to get into that. But before we do, let's hear our astronumerology forecast for today, courtesy of astronumerologist Lloyd Strayhorn and the Star 8 mobile numerology app. It is Wednesday, December the 18th. The sun is in Sagittarius, the moon is in Leo. It's an 11 universal month, a 5 universal week, and an 11 universal day. Cosmically speaking, they're the reason we were given two ears and one mouth. The opposite seems to be the case where one talks more when they really should be listening more. And that's the point of today's lesson, folks. Pay attention to everything around you. And while taking in the view, notice closely what others are doing rather than what they are saying. You'll find in some ways that the two don't quite match up. For those under the zodiac signs of Leo, Aquarius, Aries, and those born numerically on the 2nd, 7th, 11th, 16th, 20th, 25th, and 29th of the month, should be your golden rule over the next 24 hours. Once again, that is our astronumerology forecast for today, courtesy of astronumerologist Lloyd Strayhorn. You can download the app, go to the Google Play Store or the App Store. And you can also go to linktr.ee/numbersanyou. Please do not miss this very special event. The Power Series is taking place in 2025. Astronumerologist Lloyd Strayhorn has developed a series of powerful lectures to help you grow. And the very first one in January is all about the power of your numerical cycles. Get to the bottom of your cycles, discover how to find your cycles and what to expect during those cycles. You can click on the QR code at the bottom of the flyer, or you can go to linktree/numbers and you. Are you ready for 2025 yet? Do you even know what to expect for 2025 for yourself personally? Find out. Grab your astronumerology forecast for the year. In that astronumerology forecast, you'll discover what personal year you will be in, and you will find out what you can expect in each month for the year of 2025. Please go ahead and get that 2025 astronumerology forecast for the year, and also get your personal forecast or get your compatibility report, or get a report for your business. And if you want to get deep down into who you are, what your purpose is, and how you should navigate throughout this life, make sure you contact me for your astronumerology consultation. Once again, you can find all of those things at Kimberly, KIMBALEY.com. Now, let's get into the conversation. Today's story is one that you may have heard from me before, and it's personally one of my favorite stories. It's one of those stories that really gave me an aha moment. It wasn't me finding out anything new, it was more of confirmation. For me, just so you can get a little insight into my world, I like to talk to people that have something to talk about. Instead of just small talk, hello, how you doing? Sure, I can do that, but I get really interested when someone else can teach me, or when someone else is sharing with me their perspective on different things in life in general. I like wisdom. I like intelligence. So when I meet people, I'm always looking for these characteristics in people. And that was no different when I was working in my career in healthcare. During the time that this story happened, or this experience happened, I was working inside of a medical office, and it was close to the end of the shift. And let me tell you, let me set the background for this. It was really cold outside. It was like this time of the year, probably maybe December, but it was just brutally cold. However, I was nearing the end of my shift, and I was motivated about being able to get off work. And if I can recall, it probably was a Friday, which was the end of the week for us. So I was trying to hurry up and get my work done before it was time to come home. But there's always chaos there at the last moment, especially on a Friday in that office. It's like everybody wants to check out and everybody needs something at the same time. So, as I was trying to get my work done, there was a lot of other things that I had to stop in the middle of and assist with that. One of those things was someone approached me and they let me know that they had a patient that was in a wheelchair that was ready to go back, that was ready to go home or ready to be released. They asked if I could push the patient up to the front of the entire hospital so that they could wait for their ride. Now, the building was huge. In fact, it was a couple of buildings. And I knew that if I took time out to do that, it would put me way behind the game. And at first, I thought this is going to make me late. But in my book, patients always come first. So I agreed to it. I said I would do it. And I had to get up and do it right away in order for me to do it in a timely manner to get back and get my work completed so that I could go home on time. Anyway, I met this man. He was an older gentleman and he was in the wheelchair. Of course, the lady had already told that to me. And when I saw this guy, I looked at him and I thought to myself, this guy has some wisdom to share. This guy has a message for me. And this right here is a message for you. Sometimes people that you meet in your life, they come into your life to bring messages to you. So that means listen and pay attention to the people that enter your life, because you never know the life-changing message that they may have for you. Now, let's just think about this situation here. It was well over 5 years ago when this happened, but this situation and this experience is still on my mind. So this is letting you know that sometimes the information comes into you from the least suspected person. So you pay attention to everybody. So I walked up to this guy, and this was the days where I used to keep my nails done and everything. And of course, I had to be different. So we're in the middle of the winter time. I decided to get a lime green paint on my nails. The first thing this guy did was looked at my nails and he complimented my nails. And he was like, "Oh, I like the lime green nail polish." And we started laughing because I knew that he was thinking, that's kind of different. And so I always have a comeback. And because I always have a comeback, I was like, sure. I said, I decided to get lime green nail polish because I wanted to bring the springtime to this brutally cold winter. And we kind of laughed it off and we began our journey down the hall. But he did let me know that that is the way you have to approach things. That's the way you have to look at things. So we talked a little bit more as we got further down the hall. And then there was a moment that this is the moment that I'll never forget. So I'm pushing him up this hill. It's like an incline in the hospital. And immediately at the top of the incline, there was a right turn. We could not see what was at the right of the incline until we got up to the turn. So we got up to the turn and I was like very surprised. In fact, it was snowing outside. At one moment, I can remember looking outside and seeing the snow. And then in the next moment, when we turned the corner of this incline, we saw landscaping creating a flower bed right there in the hallway. And it was some of the most beautiful spring like plants in this flower bed. And I was just in awe, like, wow, it's beginning to look like spring. And I said it out loud. I didn't know I was speaking out loud. The guy turned around and he looked at me and he said, "See, you have to see it first." And he went on to explain to me how my vision of it being spring, even though it was snow on the ground, was being recreated and was manifesting that springtime energy right before our very eyes. This is when I began to think about the power of creative visualization. I'm going to tell you, hands down, I don't care what manifestation technique that you approach. For me, my favorite technique above all is creative visualization. Creative visualization is so simple. A lot of people make it difficult, but really, as we say, you're already manifesting no matter what. Well, it's the same thing. You're already visualizing, whether you're aware of it or not, whether it's something positive or not. So we have to harness that gift of visualization to bring forth the things that we want in our life. Now, don't take what I said about creative visualization being my favorite manifestation technique lightly, because this is not something that I just woke up one day and said, "Hey, my best technique is creative visualization." No, I will tell you that my journey has not been an ordinary journey. My journey was research, in depth study, and experience, because a lot of these things, especially these manifestation techniques that we're talking about, I did not just read up on these things or hear somebody talking about these things. These are things that I've actually practiced. And some of these things are some of the things that I love, and that even goes back to, if you want to talk about, I like to consider faith as a manifestation technique. People just using the power of faith to manifest. That's where the foundation came in for me. Not only that, I was intrigued by the law of attraction. I was intrigued by magic. And I mean all types of magic. I'm talking about ancestral magic. I'm talking about things like hoodoo, ritual magic, which is one of my favorite ways to manifest using magic, herbal magic, candle magic, you named it, shamanism. All of these types of magic are something that, I have experienced, something that I have been learning over a period of time. And of all these different techniques and ways of magic, what I found is, if you have to ask which ones are successful and which ones are not, I believe that each one is successful. It depends on the person that is using it. So, whatever you can believe in is what is real to you. What I most bonded with, or the one that I loved and enjoyed the most, is creative visualization, because I feel like a lot of it helps you get straight to the point. You don't need all of those things. And the way that I got to that point is I had to ask myself, okay, what if I practice candle magic? What if I need to practice some type of magic, or I want to practice some type of magic, and there's not a candle in the store, or I'm nowhere near a candle? Because believe it or not, the little 7-day candles, there was a point in my journey where those candles were selling out, and it was hard to find those candles anywhere except for if you ordered them online. So the question came to me, what if you don't have all of these tools to help you create what you want through the manifestation technique that you want to use? And so creative visualization made more sense to me, because I am a visual learner. To me, sometimes information can come in one ear and go out the other, but if I have something that's visual, it will stimulate me mentally. So being able to see things mentally helps. And we know that when we create these images and these videos in our mind, because creative visualization, that's basically what it is. It's creating a mental picture, it's creating a mental movie in your mind. And we're always creating mental movies in our mind. It just depends on what our focus is on. If I am focused on creating a business in my mind, then that is what will manifest for me, because that is the movie that is going to be playing. However, if there's a person that's worried about not having something, that also stimulates and creates a mental picture or mental movie that plays out in your subconscious mind. And so that's the thing that is important when you look at all of these magic techniques that others have used or is using. One thing that you can agree with most of the time, much of the time, when you are manifesting or using any type of magic or any type of tool, it's going to cause you to create that mental image in your mind. What you allow to go into your mind, that mental movie, is important to you, because that's what the subconscious mind will process once you add the right ingredients with it. And when I say the right ingredients, we're talking about all of your five senses and your emotions, your why, the reason for you wanting this, your passion. These things make it easier to impress the subconscious mind that this is something that you really want. That's how somebody can manifest something through just the thought sometimes, because they're creating a mental image no matter what they are thinking about. So, what this man was telling me is that in order to create anything in your life, in order to align with anything for manifestation, you must see it in your mind first. And that's one of the reasons why I'm so focused on being able to bring this 2025 vision board mastery into fruition for you, to bring it to you and present it to you so that you can really get a feel for how you can use your vision and how you can manifest through that vision. And we're going to do that in the 2025 workshop. So if you're interested in using one of the techniques that a lot of people have popularized over the years, is the vision board technique. A lot of people may talk about the vision board technique, but this right here is going to be different, because I look at vision boarding as something other than just a craft project. And I look at visualization as something that is more than just visualizing something. It is a means for manifestation. I'm so glad that I was able to listen to my spirit when my spirit was letting me know, hey, maybe this person, this chance encounter with this person may have a message in store for you. You know, I could have been just like everybody else. Well, I'm busy at this time, I'm not able to do it, and left the job for somebody else to do. But I decided that if spirit leads something to me, it's for a reason. And I'm so glad that I decided to help that man out, because he confirmed something for me that I had already known before. But when he said it this time, that whatever you want, you need to see it first. For some reason, it just stood out for me. And I think the reason why it stood out is because of that synchronistic moment, looking outside at the window and seeing snow on the ground outside, knowing how cold it was, and then being inside of the building and seeing a whole spring garden coming up right before my very eyes. It lets me know that the belief, the information that we feed to our mind, the mental image that we feed to our mind will become reality, as long as you continue to see it and believe it. Make sure that you're up on your creative visualization. Make sure that you're checking out your thoughts. You're thinking about the mental movies that you are creating. Your negative thoughts, and believe me, you're not going to be able to always stay away from negative thoughts. But just keep in mind that those negative thoughts create a negative movie that will create a negative reality for you. So be cautious of what you let come into your life, and be cautious at what you place your focus on. I love you to life. This is how you manifest on purpose.